Hello friends, welcome back to this channel. A lot of people have been asking me how I maintain my chicken house clean and then it has no smell and there are no flies around. So in today's topic, we are going to discuss how you can keep your chicken house clean without any smell and without flies. So make sure that you stick around and watch this video up to the end, in that you can learn how to manage your litter and how to keep your chicken house clean. It's actually a beautiful morning here at Kevara Farm because we were able to open. As we all know, this chicken house was containing 500 birds before I extended it. So I extended it, but we have been keeping the 800 birds that we have now in the space which was containing 500 birds. But today we opened and the birds are so excited. They are running around, they are scratching around. So that is what is happening here at Kevara Farm. But before I continue, I'm called Lillian and I'm from Kevara Farm. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel because here I share my experience and knowledge which I've gained, because 2 years ago I managed to leave my profession and came to do this, to rear the chicken, because now this is my passion. I came to do what I love most. So I share my experience which I've accumulated, I share it with you. And for those of you who have been returning to watch my videos, for those of you who have subscribed, those of you who have been sharing, liking, commenting, I'm really so grateful. I can't take that for granted. Thank you so much. This channel is actually growing. It is almost up to 1K. Please, I'm really so grateful for that. Let's dive into the points. The number one thing that you have to know if you want to keep your chicken house clean, first of all, you have to bring in enough litter when you're going to bring in your birds. Make sure that you put in enough litter, because if you put a little litter, just imagine all the feeds that you give to this chicken. Their droppings are always going down, going down. But as you can see mine, when I'm touching, you can see how deep my hands are going, which means I put enough litter. So if you put enough litter, you're not going to keep on changing it. And then if you want to keep your chicken house clean and dry, make sure that you avoid, by any circumstance, avoid pouring water on the floor. You can even inform your workers or your helper who is helping you at the farm, caution them not to pour any water on the floor. And and remember, our chicken houses are always open in order for free circulation of air. So when it is a rainy season, sometimes this rain tends to enter into our chicken houses. So make sure that you surround it with trampoline, and when it rains, you're able to blow the trampoline down such that no rain enters into your chicken house. And then another thing, make sure that you caution your boys or your helper that in case the water drops on the floor, remove all that litter that is wet and they move it out. Because first of all, if you don't move it out, it is going to develop germs which are going to bring diseases to your birds. And then another thing, it is going to develop ammonia which is going to smell, and that ammonia will attract flies. So this ammonia, it doesn't only smell for us, but it also affects the production of these birds. So, so please make sure that you move out all the litter that is wet in order for you to make sure that your chicken house is clean and does not attract any flies. And then another activity that we did here at the farm, I was able to install cameras at my farm. Remember, I told you when I offlaid my birds, I realized that my worker was selling my chicken. And another thing, ever since I started this farm, I've been fighting with my worker. Reason being, the worker was stealing the eggs. So I had to react. When it reached an extent of stealing the birds, I had to react. I installed cameras. I installed 5 cameras in both of my chicken houses. You can see one in this chicken house and then another one in the other chicken house, this big one. And then other 2 cameras are installed outside. So please make sure that at your farm you try to make sure that no one is stealing from you. You have to make sure that because you have invested so much in this project, you have to make sure that you control theft at your farm. So that is what I did. Another question that I get is how often I change my litter. First of all, if you have to know is please try to make sure that you put enough litter before you bring in these birds. If you put enough litter, which means it's not going to get wet so early by these chicken droppings. So just and remember exercise of moving out the wet litter, it affects your birds so much. During this exercise, the birds get so stressed so much, so they reduce on their production, and it takes so long, like a week, in order for them to be stable again. And then you have to also supplement them with vitamins, and which is costly. So in order to avoid all those, please make sure that you put in enough litter when you're bringing in your birds. That way avoid you're going to avoid changing litter so many times. The answer to that question, it depends on how you have managed your litter so well. If you manage it so well, you're going to take longer periods of time to change this litter. And then another thing, if you want to maintain it clean, please make sure that you pass around with your rake within after 2 to 3 days. You pass around and you try to change this litter. When you change it, you're making sure that the chicken drops which are on top and then they are mixed in with the litter, and that way you're going to manage your litter so well and you keep it so dry, and then you won't be able to keep changing this litter. With that information, I hope you have been able to pick something from this information which I've given you, and I will continue to encourage someone. Please make sure that you put all these things that we talk about into practice if you want to be so successful in poultry farming. Thank you so much for watching me. Bye bye till the next video.
Same to me. Start a fire, drown the spark, shake away the heat. Tell the truth or live a lie. Be a burden or a prize. Stick around or say goodbye. Just don't